Not in this lifetime, sir. No, thank you. I'm not going to be in the dark jerking off my flashlight before I die.
And you don't get ammo. Like at any given point, you have like 4 shots.
I'll need one to end my life, bro.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Nightmare Manor podcast. We've been on an extended break, and one of the reasons for that, I could not put more time into it. But my wonderful friend Gizmo here has offered to do the YouTube editing, which was a very large portion of why we had to stop the Nightmare Manor podcast. But we're back on. And today's episode, we're talking about, we're catching up, but we're talking about all the games that came out in 2023 and all the games coming in 2024 in the horror genre. I forgot to mention that, but that's today's episode. So sit back. I hope you all enjoy. Okay.
I don't remember agreeing to do anything. What the fuck? What is it? Who are you? Who is it? Where am I? What are we doing? No.
He can't get away from me.
I cannot. I couldn't escape you if I wanted to, buddy.
I met Giz in DBD.
More TikTok than DBD.
Yeah, actually. You just played DBD, and I also played DBD at the time.
Yeah.
And
which, I mean, if you want to dive right into that, another a horror game didn't come out this year, of course. DBD's original release is 2016.
Yeah.
However, it has consistently like built this whole thing that you could go on about, and they released a whole bunch of new content this year, attracting a bigger fan base. They are basically like the monster of all of these. Like, if you like horror, you will play Dead by Daylight, and if you don't like horror, you will probably still play Dead by Daylight because they have something. They have a draw. They have a natural draw. And complaints aside, which, oh man, we could do a whole episode on that.
We could.
Dead by Daylight did turn out a great year.
Was it? I fell off. I fell off a while ago. Hunt took over, and I've been on the hunt for like 2 years. So I've kind of fallen out of DBD. I know they brought Chucky, and that's kind of cool.
This year alone, we've got Chucky, which they give them different names and everything else.
Yeah.
But we got Chucky, we got more Resident Evil stuff. We got a return to Hawkins.
I bet you will see more Resident Evil collabs as well.
Yeah. No, they're too deep now, and Behavior and Capcom seem to have a very, very good working relationship with each other. Though I feel like their stipulation with one another is like the killer must be overpowered.
Yeah, I feel that I could see, although Wesker doesn't seem that overpowered.
Oh, buddy, you have not played against Wesker enough.
I have not played against him. I played when he came out, and I got bored of it because every match was Wesker. And, you know, it's DBD on release. Like every single match for about 3 weeks is going to be the new killer and the new survivor.
And then if they're not incredibly overpowered, they fall off, and everybody goes back to playing.
Yeah. Everyone goes back
like
to
really do.
What's that running? Legion.
Oh, I love Legion.
Legion's a popular. You got the nurse mains that are holding on to a thread, but they're still there.
Holding on by a thread. Bro, Cloud mains out there, both mad and sad at the same time.
Like, what'd they do to Cloud?
Bro, they just cannot. They cannot figure Cloud out. They cannot find a good like balance between like this killer is good and this killer fucking sucks.
That's how it seems. I'm like, every time I pop into a Dead by Daylight stream on one of my friends and they go against Clown, either he's broken because they buffed him or absolutely garbage because they recently nerfed him.
Right. Oh, to get on that, they announced a new survivor today.
Yeah.
Alan Wake is coming to Dead by Daylight, which seems very fitting. Also, we had Alan Wake 2 in 2023, which seems weird for a sequel because the original Alan Wake was... God, were you a fetus when Alan Wake 1 came out?
Maybe.
Like, what year was that? I feel like... I mean, yeah, it's 2010.
2010. So I was a junior in high school.
Oh my God. Did you play Alan Wake in 2010?
No, I
'Cause
didn't
it's
play a
fucking
lot of
boring.
horror games
'Cause
till I got older because I was a big old pussy.
it's boring. Listen, I like people like what they like, and I don't want to like we say this at work. Don't yuck anyone's yum. But Alan Wake was so fucking boring.
Okay. Well, that like I've heard opposite. Like I heard people like it's amazing. You have to play it. I never played it, but
I mean, feel free to jump into it. Like again, to each their own.
yeah,
I played the first one, and apparently there's DLC for it called American Nightmare. That's what really kind of sold people on that game.
it's
If I'm
pretty
if
rough when the DLC is what sells the game.
I'm telling you, but like I don't know, man. I wanted it to be. I don't know. Maybe it just wasn't for me at the time. Maybe if I go back and play it now.
Maybe that'll be our homework. I
Maybe
know
that's what it
they're
is. That's our homework assignment.
at least at the time of recording. I know they're on sale on Epic Games. You get Alan Wake 2 and the remastered, probably the DLC as well for the first one. I think for like $30 with Epic's coupon.
That's a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah. I think that's till January 10th, so tomorrow. So it will not be on sale when this comes out. But
I'd say let's date the shit out of this podcast. On Steam as well, you can get the Alan Wake franchise for $24.99.
Oh, that's not bad. So that's even better.
Alan Wake, American Nightmare, and Collector's Edition extras. I don't know, man. It just the original Alan Wake, I just got real like Silent Hill, like not good, not as good.
It's
like
Silent Hill from
Silent
which?
Hill. Yeah, yes, that's what it felt like.
Okay,
that's what it
I've
felt like. To me,
never. I played one Silent Hill. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was whichever one had like a portrait on the cover, but I can't remember. It was like a painting. I could probably Google it. But
Excuse me while I fillet Hideo Kojima for a minute here, because Silent Hill, like the first three are just so top. Like products of their time, though. Like go back and play them now. You might like the controls might not be.
I think that's
might
like
not be anything
most
to write home
games.
about. But I played the first three because I'm old, so I got to play them like as like new exciting things. First one absolutely terrified me. Just like the most terrifying thing. And I'll die on this hill as a fan of horror games and movies. The Silent Hill movie was good. It was good.
I enjoyed the first
one. It
one.
deserved more praise.
Yeah.
Like
for a video game to movie adaptation, it was really good.
Like I don't know what more. And horror fans do this. Horror fans hate things when they release, and then like 5 to 10 years later, and they love things in retrospect. And we have that really massively in like the Evil Dead community. The Evil Dead remake, you can go back and read reviews from that time, and like if you really want to like go in the Wayback Machine, read like forum posts and people just slamming this movie and hating it. And now you look it up and people absolutely adore it.
I know it's got this like huge cult following still.
It's
Did
like
the
where
Evil
were you?
Dead
Where
game
were you
released this year?
The Evil Dead game did drop this year and also died this year.
It was fun. I just I hate that it was too meta dependent.
Here's my beef with any like games as a service. Anything that pits you against other people. If you can't be home playing it, you're gonna fall off.
Yeah,
you're gonna fall off and get just trounced by the dudes who can. It happens in every shooter. Even Hunt, which they do their best to try to like stem that by like that's their tier system of like, oh, you're this many stars, you're that many stars.
Yeah,
we're gonna but then you have people who will deliberately tank their shit
to just fuck up the low MMR players,
just to beat me up.
I just remember the first, maybe like the second week of Evil Dead, I already encountered so many hackers, which that will kill a game quick, especially on a newer game. And then on the rounds I didn't have hackers, everyone went I don't know, what's the electrical demon? It was from the series.
Yeah, it's one of the Kandari demons. Yeah, that uses electricity.
But yeah, like everyone went those because he was AoE attacks. So they would like corner you in buildings and just erupt everything. And is like, you can't do anything.
I'm gonna say this as someone, and I feel I'm a little bit on. I have ADHD,
Yeah.
and I'm a little bit on the TISM spectrum, right? The worst thing to happen to fucking video games was like ADHD, which it naturally attracts, people on spectrums. That's why we love video games. But we were the worst thing to happen to it because if you give someone with ADHD and autism access to a game and there is a meta that they can dig out, they will find that fucking meta.
That is true. And they will
Like,
fixate on it.
yeah, somebody out there is hyper fixating on, name the game on some way to do this better and more efficient. And here's the problem. They're smug motherfuckers about it too, because once they find that meta, they don't keep that shit to themselves.
No.
Oh no.
No, they start posting it. And then the top players and content creators start reposting it. And then it's just viral at that point, and there's no hope. That's the Call of Duty community right there.
Right? God help you if you were trying to have fun playing this fucking game. Like, how fucking dare you? How dare you try to have fun?
How dare you have fun? If you want fun, go to single player.
Yeah, you piece of shit. Fuck you. That being said, I was quite fond of the Evil Dead game.
I did love it. I did really like it.
As a lifelong fan of Evil Dead, more specifically Bruce Campbell, like, I mean, I went and watched that man talk in a cave in Tennessee last year, so I'm a little bit of a fan.
Just a little bit.
I love Evil Dead 1, love Evil Dead 2, love the remake of Evil Dead, love Army of Darkness, Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise was one of those weird horror movie outliers for fans because the fans instantly loved it. And that made me so happy. It's so good.
I honestly really did like it. And the only negative was like the character development was what they didn't care for.
Yeah.
But other than that, I thought it was an excellent, just standalone horror movie. If it didn't have anything to do with Evil Dead, I thought it was fine. It was fun, but also a little spooky.
Listen, I would have never once, and I'm kind of a creative guy sometimes, I'd have never thought to drag a cheese grater down someone's leg.
That was pretty rough.
Oh my God, dang, bro. Really? Ugh.
Yeah, that movie, the damage that the people endured in that movie was pretty rough. It wasn't
what I look like coming home from work at the end of the day.
Right. It wasn't Eli Roth rough.
No.
But it was rough.
It was more rough than Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Rough, right. But I mean, I thought it was really, really good.
I really liked that movie. I didn't even get to watch it because we had friends over when we watched it, so we just kind of talked while watching it, and I need to rewatch it, but yeah, no, it was really great. And for me to want to rewatch it, it was pretty good because I don't rewatch a lot of things unless it's from my childhood, and that's just for nostalgic purposes.
I completely understand that. Like you have comfort. Like,
yeah, a Goofy movie is my comfort movie.
Is it really?
Yeah,
that's cute.
It's cute.
Comfort movies for me: Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, Fight
Club.
I also I'm a Futurama sleeper.
My wife loves Futurama too. She Futurama and My Little Pony are hers, and then Studio Ghibli. But
oh yeah, man! Like, how could you not? Like, come on! If you don't like those movies, then you're wrong.
You're not human,
right? Like, I don't know why where your empathy is, but it's not in you. Sorry. What else dropped this year? Let's take a look.
Let's see. So we got the Dead Space remake, Sons of the Forest. That's
okay. So I didn't play the Dead Space remake because I'd recently replayed through Dead Space 1 and 2. An absolute blast. Sons of the Forest, though, what a sequel.
I watched you play it.
What a follow-up. Like, The Forest is one of my favorite. Like, you want to talk like comfort horror games? The Forest can fall in there because you don't have to do anything. You can just exist on that island, right?
Yeah.
And going back and you can just craft a log cabin. just live in a log cabin.
Yeah, like you
It's
don't even
fun.
have to progress the story. You can just survive in your little log cabin
That's it, man. You can just exist.
with
And Sons of
Calvin.
the Forest. Sons of the Forest added so much crafting
It
that
really did.
I am sure there is somebody still playing it who has not progressed the story at all. Who's like,
They're
why?
just busy just crafting shit.
It's just building. Just hey, check it out, man. Check out what I built. Like it's one of those rare things where like the sequel definitely lives up to the hype.
Yeah. And I think they just released their 1.0 update. Like, they either just released it or it's coming really soon.
Fantastic. Dead Space remake.
I didn't play it. I watched some people play it. It looked really good. Everyone's like, it's really good for a remake, but it's a remake. And like,
It's a remake.
if you played the first one, you played the remake. It looks like how we remember Dead Space looked.
So that's what it is, and that's fantastic. For like, if that's what you want,
Yeah,
you got it.
I like 1-to-1 remakes because they update the controls, they update the graphics. That's all you need sometimes when you want to play an older game, but you don't really want to put up with the tankiness of Dead Space 1, which I do feel like that is part of the horror aspect, is how you were just so tanky in the controls.
Yeah, you're bound by your movement.
Yeah.
Go back and play. You can do this on Xbox and I think on PC. You can replay Resident Evil 1
Mm-hmm.
without tank controls.
Oh, okay.
Like you move like you're in Resident Evil 4.
That'd be cool.
Changes the whole way you play that game. Super fun though. Like certain horror games in my life just nailed it. Resident Evil being one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Resident Evil series is very close to my heart.
They just keep it's so up and down.
They do. They
quality.
like we had. So this is going back, but we had the first Resident Evil 4, which is where I'm going to start because that's kind of where like once I got to a decent age, that's where I picked up.
I'm about to say for the younger gamers, 4 is essentially their 1.
Yeah, and so I started with 4. I was fine with 5. I know a lot of people were like, that's kind of like, it wasn't scary because it was all during the daytime and Chris punches boulders. It's a little more Michael Bay. But then we got to 6, and while I did still enjoy 6, I'm in the minority that like I enjoyed 6, especially for Leon's campaign. But that was the downfall, was the 5 and 6. And then we got the glorious Resident Evil 7 and 8. The Biohazard and Village.
Biohazard is so good.
It's so good. I love that game. I actually want to replay it.
Good. It's so I have played back through that game probably 3 or 4 times. It's so good that like it just the characters, the way they really nailed it. They really nailed it.
It was perfect. I hope we still get some first person Resident Evil games because I honestly like them a little more than the third person. I
certainly do.
I did enjoy the Resident Evil 4 remake a lot. I haven't finished it, but I really enjoyed it. I was trying to do a pistol only run, and I'm succeeding. So I gotta finish it just so I can say I did it. I did include throwables. Throwables were okay to use, but
yeah.
So it was pistol, throwables, and knife, and I got to the island, which is like the last area.
Yeah. So that 4 remake is one of those things where it is a true remake. It is different. It is not a 1-to-1. There are several changes to where if you played through the original, and I know some dudes who played through the original, 10, 12, 13 times, they know every step of the path. It was enough to like throw them off and be like, oh, this is new. Oh, check that out. That's new. That's cool. And that I really do enjoy a remake that like stays true to its source, but also will branch out.
Yeah, it's almost like you go into grandma's house for some nice cookies, but grandma rearranged.
Right? Yeah, she rearranged the house.
Changed her recipe just a little bit, and it's like better in a way, but it still reminds you of the old recipe.
Yeah, you still get that like, oh yeah, no, this is familiar, but fun and different. Quick note, and I'll have the very, very handsome editor throw this up here. The cover for Resident Evil 6 looks like a lady blowing a giraffe.
It does. It does. I can't unsee that one.
If
Once
you've ever,
someone
if you,
pointed it out, like the month
you just
after it
can't.
released.
Yep, you cannot unsee that, and I always like to subject new people to that because I have to see it. So
Yeah, if
maybe so do you.
we all have to see it, you have to see it too. Some other games. So this includes one that hasn't come out and one that did come out, even though one was supposed to come out this year. But that's the Texas Chainsaw and Killer Clown.
Oh God, okay. Now you've touched my buttons. Fuck
So-
Killer Clowns from Outer Space needs to drop already. I'm so pissed off that it's not out. It's just not.
I
out.
know, but I also don't know these single IP asymmetrical horror games. I just don't. I know none of them say they compete with Dead by Daylight, and that's realistically it's because they can't.
Right.
But they also have to, and I think they need to realize that.
Yeah, the audience for Dead by Daylight is going to branch into your game, and that's just how this ecosystem currently works. Like,
Yeah,
Dead by Daylight is number one, and when something else drops, you don't have to be trying to take Dead by Daylight's spot. But you have to
no one's going
recognize
to take
that,
their spot.
No, the only thing that kills them is them at this point.
Yeah.
However, so like we'll just start with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a franchise that I adore and a game that I really, really like. Like the game it's not Dead by Daylight. It's not trying to be Dead by Daylight. It really is not trying to be. The problem with that though is it has all these players who came over from Dead by Daylight who did not start playing Dead by Daylight in 2016, right?
No.
Who haven't played it for the past, I was there 3,000 years ago. Levels for this Dead by Daylight, they have reached perfection as far as their like dev schedule, to tease, to release, to PTB, to launch. They figured it out. It wasn't always like this.
No. Well, they also had a leaker in their dev team or something too that they caught.
They did actually. Which, leaks can be good and bad at the same time.
Yeah.
It's good for generating buzz. So I'm not sure how much of a negative that is. But Dead by Daylight has figured this shit out to a science. Gun, the company deving Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they're not there yet, man. And sadly in the modern world of games, you don't get 8 years to figure it out.
No. You get 3 months, I feel, these days.
Yep. So I'm just going to say TCM because saying the whole thing is too long.
That's fine, yeah.
TCM is a great premise. It's a great idea. And the devs behind it clearly love the IP and clearly have reverence for it.
You can see their passion for it.
But their passion does not transfer over to player base. It's just not coming out quick enough.
No.
Which they do have if you're curious, they do not have a roadmap, but they will be making content. New content will be releasing until August.
Okay.
And they made kind of an ominous statement on that to where if all the content releases and does well, they will continue making content past August, which feels ominous to me.
Yeah. What also gets me on that game is their DLC price.
Gamers are broke, man. You can't.
They want $15 for that special edition Leatherface skin. I did buy it. I had someone come. Yeah, the Nicotero
Leatherface. Thank you very much. Who is an icon?
Yes, I did have to look him up, but then once I looked him up, I don't know names, but then once I looked him up, I'm like, oh, okay. And I did buy it. I thought it was cool. Someone came to my stream and was like, you should, if you like Leatherface, you should buy it. I think you'll enjoy it. And I do enjoy it, but it was $15. And then I was looking forward to the Survivor coming out and the new killer, Nancy and Danny.
Yeah.
And they wanted $12 a piece for them. I'm like, a Dead by Daylight, for $12, you get usually killer and survivor, if not 2 survivors.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so this is something else that Texas Chainsaw Massacre and any other asymmetrical horror game, they don't quite understand that the player base has money, but
It's all in our PCs.
Yeah. Well, okay. So how do I say it? Danny is kind of pay to win.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people
S-
are frustrated with him.
I like playing him. He's a lot of fun because he can really like I'm one of those players who I'm not really trying to escape. Like I'm
You,
just there for the vibes.
yeah.
Um so Danny lends to being like just a little like problem gremlin, which weirdly enough, I like to be. So you can just run around and just break things on the map and they will stay broken. You can open doors and they are forced to stay open. And once you
Mm,
level up his ability to tier 3, it does like you don't have to study. You don't have to stop to study anything. You just have to run by it.
okay.
And it automatically builds that bar for you. And it's like, well, you knew this was broken when you were developing.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
come
pretty rough.
on. So, I will say the new map they released is fantastic. It's a lot of fun to play on. Uh, and yeah, I'm dogging on the Survivor side. I play Survivor and Killer in that game, and if you think the Killer side is too easy, just try it out for yourself because it can be incredibly frustrating.
It's so frustrating because I'm a killer main when I do play. Usually Bubba too, because I played when you had to play Bubba and nobody wanted
Right.
to play Bubba, so I just played him. And yeah, it's rough. It's like I couldn't imagine if it was like Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th, where it was just like you were just Bubba. It'd be
Right.
miserable. So I
Yeah.
do like
No.
that they changed the asymmetrical to the 3v4. I think was
Hmm.
actually really good. I just hate, which they did fix this recently. I hated that stealth was not a point of the game. Everyone would wake up Grandpa instantly, so you didn't know when they actually left the bunker or
Yep.
the basement. They would just make all the noise they could because didn't tell you where they were. Like you just knew an
Yeah.
area, so they just get a shiv real quick, and then you'd go over there and they just stab you in the back, teabag you a couple times, and then leave them tackle you. you know?
Right. Bro, before they made that change to Bubba, where he gets like a little he gets a duration after he gets stabbed or something to where he can't be stabbed again.
Yeah.
There is footage of me of just getting
Oh yeah.
fucking bullied.
I probably have a clip too where I just got absolutely bullied by a Leland.
Which again, I'm just dying laughing. I'm like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life, and I love this. I would love to see this in the film in like one of the
Right.
films.
Someone just
Of
absolutely bullying the piss out of Bubba.
just beating the shit out of him. Like I thought that was great. However, like and I want them to lean into the stealth more.
Yeah.
Like and the devs themselves are trying to figure out how to do that as well. Um Honestly, I'm not sure how you fix I like again, we could do 1 hour on just the
All
Texas
these
Chainsaw
games.
Massacre game. Yeah, I could break down on each of these. The killer side on TCM, if you think I'm being too mean to Survivor side, Sissy is fucking trash and she's my favorite girl. So that makes me sad. And Hitch is far too strong.
Yeah.
Like his stamina regen again, you have a bunch of people who have really figured this shit out and there's a meta and there should not be a meta for this game.
No. It should be like a party game almost.
And that's what the devs were going for. And they've stated that. And then of course, you can't give people on the internet good things.
Yeah. I just feel like that's really the way any game will go that has a perk system. There will always
Yep.
be the best perks.
A min maxer.
Yeah. There's always going to be a meta if there's perks in the game. But then in that game, like, what would you do if there was no perks Survivor side? Like, yeah, Killer, like, they got different abilities, but like,
For
you'd
that one
have like,
there, for that one there, I think you need to really streamline down the trees. Because
yeah,
right now, like there's so much branching out and like so many useless abilities.
yeah,
You really need to streamline it and try to keep the perks in line with like the player. Because the player has their own tree, you know what I mean? Like
hmm
Leland's shoulder shove, he can level that up to where he gets like, it cools down faster, it does this faster. The whole big tree should also be like that. It should be very streamlined to where you're playing like a set build. Because like right now, my like we'll use my Julie build. My Julie can run forever,
yeah,
and she can be healed by like hiding in a bush. So,
perfect.
so So you hit me, I run from you until you're out of stamina, and then I crouch in a bush and I get all of my health back. Or my Connie build, which is like
What's
I'm getting
balance?
out of here. Yeah, balance. Yeah, right. Is that a new killer? Is that one of the new killers? Is that Jonathan Balance coming to Texas?
Right.
Also, can I point out with Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Okay, you've got your original 4 survivors, right? Who are there to find Anna's sister, Maria. Which, if you haven't played the prequel, look up Flowers.
Okay.
It's a first person, and it shows what happens to Maria.
Okay.
It's really, really good.
I had heard
It's
that about that.
and it's beautiful too. It's very beautiful, very picturesque. Which funny because you take pictures with a camera, but it's super fun. But so these 4 have shown up to try to find her, and that's how we get here. Now this new dude has shown up, Danny, and Danny was her boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So are the next new survivors going to be her parents?
Grandparents.
And then her uncle shows up, then her grandparents, and then like her fifth cousin's college roommates. They don't all have to be they don't all have to be connected.
They can just be someone else that got trapped on the road.
That's it, man. That's
like, it can just all it needs to be. We don't need to go down the family tree.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm like, this is silly. Like, but I part of me kind of hopes they do keep that up and just keep running with that just for the silliness of it. Because, and like, horror fans will fight you about this, but like, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a bit of a spoof if you look into like, and people didn't get it. So the second one is more on the nose with that, with like what they're like kind of making fun of in the horror genre.
Yeah, I love the second one.
I love the second. You either love that second one or you're wrong. Bill Moseley absolutely kills it as Chop Top. Like,
I want Chop Top in the game. I'm just saying, but I think it's a licensing thing, and I don't think he'll actually ever come because they can only use characters from the first run or basically new characters that they create.
Of right now. Yeah, yes. As of right now. They are actively working on that, but as of right now, yeah, they've got to kind of reined into the first one, which, like, again, if you love that first movie, I encourage you to play the game at least once just to play on Family House.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Like, it's a very pretty game.
As for what's going on, they kind of went overboard with how gorgeous, like,
right.
Like, it's really good.
You can't really soak in the scenery on that game because then if you're trying to soak in the scenery, you're going to hear a chainsaw rev behind you and just get absolutely violated.
I find that so beautiful.
Find that the sunset's beautiful.
That's it, buddy. That's it. That Nicotero chainsaw fire. And
oh yeah. Well, that was the thing people liked about it. You couldn't hear the chainsaw.
it was so you could hear it,
but it sounded like distant or something like that.
Yeah, it sounded distant. The whole like Leatherface would be closer than you expect, and I think they should have kept that.
Yeah,
I feel like that should have stayed because that's.
Let me pay to win if I'm paying $50 or $15.
Right. But no, they definitely need to like look into what they're charging for their stuff and go from there.
Yeah, they need. I think first, if they lowered their DLC prices, I think that would help a lot.
That, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think the killers and the survivors should get to see each other in the lobby.
No, I think that would help a lot too, because a lot of people just dodge because they see who's on the other team.
Yep, and they
also
build the
levels.
Around who's
Let's
on the
take
other
levels
team.
Off too.
Yeah, hide all that information. You don't get to know it.
They don't need to know.
They really don't. Like that is my biggest step to like how do you fix the lobby problem is you shorten the timer and they don't get to see each other.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't have people trying to like switch at the last minute to, to combat either Hitch or be Hitch because of Bomb Squad perk.
Yeah.
Quick note, we'll move on from Texas Chainsaw Massacre if you want. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I am super looking forward to this game. I also adore that movie. It is trash in the greatest possible way.
It is absolute it's dog water, as the kids say, but it's also glorious dog water.
It's so like it's so cute.
Yeah.
that it gets a pass on being a shitty movie.
Like, what's the like little clown with like the green hair and the
Oh
boxing
shit.
gloves?
What is his name?
I can't remember. I know they got like kind of weird names.
It's like, hang on. Oh no, we're gonna find this
I
out
know
now. I've got
one
to
is
know.
like
Oh,
Jumbo.
Shorty.
Shorty, yeah. When
Yeah,
Shorty
Shorty
just punches the head off of the motorcyclist.
kills it. Just kills it, dude. I love that.
and
I
his,
love
and his friends don't even do anything. They're just like, oh my god.
the scene where like the cops being like puppeted
Hmm.
by the puppet. Like talk about this movie's from the 80s. Like what a novel. Like that's cute, man. Like they've done that again in other movies.
Yeah.
But that is such that it's got these super rare moments of like solid gold.
Yeah. That it makes up for just all the just
All the
bullshit.
nonsense. And the effects are super good, and the clowns were practical in the OG movie, and like I don't know, man. I just can't say enough nice things about this, and not because the devs of this game follow me on Twitter.
You know what? Also, I've come to enjoy as I get older.
Mhm.
I've come to enjoy practical effects in movies.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't like CGI anymore. Like when you're a kid, like CGI is fucking awesome. It's cool. But then when I got older, well, for one, CGI is starting to look like fucking 90s CGI again. But like practical effects are just timeless.
yeah, yeah. Anything you can do in one, if you can do it in one take, will take my breath away.
Yeah.
And if you can do it practically, the effects being practical, you've garnered a fan. Like even if it's not a good, I'll still. Most recent for that was like I watched a war movie,
Uh-huh.
just weirdly enough, and I can't remember the name of it, but there's this like single one shot of this soldier running, or just ever. Like it just stays on this guy running through the battlefield, and the battlefield's all practical. These explosions are going off,
Okay.
and he's running through these explosions, and the camera stays with him, and it just like follows him all the way around this battlefield. And I'm like, this is captivating, man. It's
Yeah.
like I can't breathe. Like I'm getting winded
It like sucks you
watching.
in more than like CGI.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's actually real looking, aside from like, you know, the cheesy clown makeup and stuff like on
right.
Killer Clown, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm a like as far as horror goes. Like you could look up the work of Tom Savini in horror, and Greg Nicotero as well, who worked, for effects companies for years and years and made just like the most wonderful, gross, but wonderful practical effects for stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite being Tom Savini's cock gun from Dusk Till Dawn.
I didn't know what I heard at first. I mean, I
We
knew
need
what I
that in
heard at
Hunt.
first.
We need that. We need that gun. We need that gun in Hunt. You need to look that gun up. You need that gun
What
in
is it
Hunt.
called?
Oh man, just look up Tom Savini, Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, I think I have seen that movie.
He like
Ew.
flexes his dick and it flops out a gun.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Once you said that, I'm like, nope, I remember.
Yeah, that, like,
Yeah.
bro.
Why can't I use that in Hunt? Come on now. Bring a new Derringer variant.
Like it's adorable. But if that gun fired, it's probably gonna destroy your dick. Like recoil exists, bro.
Right. Not taking blue balls to the next level.
Right? I really do want to touch on this. The Gray Hill incident
Oh,
dropped
I
this
was
year.
actually just looking at that one too. I think that was next.
I played the demo for this, and I could not have been pissing my pants harder. Like
I watched like I think what was it? Jacksepticeye. I watched his playthrough on it, and yeah, it looked terrifying.
like there are certain horror games that really get me.
Oh God,
And
speaking
oh,
of that, side note, I watched. Oh my God, what is it called? Oh,
the
I
Fall
can't.
of the House of Usher.
No, it was a game. I said watched,
Uh,
but I played a game that was. Give me 1 second.
side note, if you didn't, side note to his side note, if you haven't watched The Fall of the House of Usher on Netflix, do yourself a fucking favor. It's fantastic. If you like horror and Edgar Allan Poe, which those kind of go hand in hand, but it's worth watching.
It is actually really good. Okay, and I found it. It was called Depart Prototype. That game, I've never been more afraid in my life. Like if I'm just stuck down here, I might just never have left that cell. Nope. What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? That game legit had me terrified to where I almost quit playing, and it is only 20 minutes long.
Oh, this does look absolutely terrifying.
It's so good. So I don't remember the year. I think it's older than this year, but it's a first person shooter, but they do like a cam perspective, so it's like a body cam. And it looks real as shit. Like just the atmosphere, the gun play, there's no HUD or anything. The amount of bullets I sprayed. It is on my YouTube if anyone wants to go watch it. But like it was terrifying.
Does in fact look terrifying.
It was fun, and it's the demo, or it's only a demo. There's no game for it. It's just a itch.io game, and it's free for anyone that wants to play it.
What did I recently play? I played Buckshot Roulette.
Oh, yeah, I've been seeing that a lot too. I forgot that came out.
That was fun.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. You can beat that game in 20 minutes. Like if you know what you're doing. But it's $1.50.
Okay, that's not bad.
So, or you could like I paid $5 for it. Like I was just like, man, like this looks fun. So it's like you can pay $1.50 or pay more. I'm like, I'll pay $5. Fuck it.
Yeah. Another. What were we gonna say?
Go on.
Okay. Another game. Speaking of games that just are terrifying as shit, like The Depart, Amnesia, The Bunker.
Amnesia, The Bunker is terrifying.
I can't play it. I can't bring myself to play it. I want to. It looks great. I've watched people play it. I've watched YouTubes of it. I don't think I could do it.
I got a buddy I watched play it, and I was like, my butthole was somewhere around my throat the whole time. The lighting of the way you have to like wind up your flash, like you have to like yank a string to like. I'm like, absolutely no, thank you. Not in this lifetime, sir. No, thank you. I'm not going to be in the dark jerking off my flashlight before I die. Like I'm not doing that
with a creature that is drawn to sound.
Yeah, and you got me over here whipping up my Beyblade. Like fuck you. Let her rip, bruh. No.
And you don't get ammo. Like at any given point, you have like 4 shots.
I only need 1 to end my life, bro.
I'm just gonna say, if I was in that game as the main character, no. That's first bullet.
That's it, man. That's it.
As soon as I knew that big ass thing was down there, no.
I'm gonna write a note and strap it to my own chest that says, "This is your problem now."
I want an NPC in a game. You know how they put like dead NPCs with like collectible notes like that? I want the devs of Amnesia to put an NPC that says, "It's your problem now." That's it.
That's it, bro. I would love a little more realism from like in these games. Not like they're like, oh, it looks so realistic. That's so real. I want a real human response just one time.
Just one, yeah.
These games.
Like I don't want heroic shit.
No, I want one dude. I want to find a note on a body that's like, this is the most outlandish fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. You will not believe this shit. I work for this company. And turns out we're reanimating humans. This is fucking insane. Like nobody's questioning it around here. So I feel like I might be on like they're doing a bit. Like maybe am I in a movie? Am I being punked? Am I on a TV? What is going on here? Fuck this. No, thank you. Tell my wife I love her. And you just find him dangling from a fucking ceiling fan.
And that's where you get the revolver.
Yeah. Yeah. Had it the whole time. Yeah, I've got 6 bullets, and everything in this building has turned into some form of ungodly monstrosity, the likes of which that if you actually saw it in person, your brain would probably snap.
I bet you I could use 2 on myself. You got 4 bullets. Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah. Get out of that level. Amnesia was great. Outlast Trials.
Oh, I love
this year.
that
Did you
game.
play Out?
Yeah,
I like Outlast. Outlast terrifies me because, like, if you know the history of the mental health care like facilities in America.
Yeah, specifically.
Don't go wandering around places is my advice, I guess, because you could actually find yourself in this scenario. The first game, anyways.
Yeah, the
Second
first
game, second game. Yeah, man, there's cults everywhere, I guess.
one. I mean, I live up north. We got a few of them.
There you go. What is it
But yeah,
about?
no,
Like,
I enjoyed that game a
Montana
lot.
makes people want to be fucking cult leaders.
It's just
Outlast Trials is fantastic. Like, if you're feeling froggy, jump because that game is fun.
Yeah, and it's
Fun with
nice.
friends.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's fun with friends. You can play it solo. It's better with in multiplayer. I don't know what the player base is for it right now. It's a little old. I don't know if they really update much on it. I think it was one of those games where like they just released the game. They're not doing live service. Like,
Which is again
it's a
perfectly
co-op
fine
game.
to me.
Yeah,
It's perfectly fine to me. I want like a resurgence in like co-op buddy games where it's you and one pal.
yeah.
Army of Two being the best example of this. That game,
Gears of War,
absolutely rock. Gears, absolutely rocks.
even Halo 2, when you could do Master Chief and the Arbiter.
Yeah, like I love stuff like that. I love that. I had a buddy. We did this kind of stuff for years with games. Like a new game would drop, and we would just sit on the couch together and just play through it.
Yeah,
And I miss that feeling, which you can do online.
it's not the same.
It's not the same. But you know, being able to vibe out with your buddy. Give me just a minute. Kid's gonna say something. Yeah. Well, you go just vibe then. Hey, I love you. You're a good kid. Sometimes. Listen, I heard you were making fun of me the other day. Yeah, you was. She was.
They always are.
So her mom was getting ready for work, and I called her out to the living room to tell her something important, and then she went back to her bedroom and shit talked me to her friends. Her mom heard it in the bathroom and laughed so fucking hard.
He's such an asshole.
and then snitched her out, and I just cackled. I'm like, oh, she's becoming a little person. So makes me happy.
Let's see.
Can we talk about the big one? The probably the one everybody talks about right now. Lethal Company.
Lethal Company, I think, is a good end to the 23.
Oh God, man.
That game came out of nowhere.
I always love stuff like that, like your little sleeper hits.
Yeah. Like one day just on TikTok, I saw a video of Lethal Company. I'm like, that looks dorky and kind of fun. I'll try it. I think Diplo grabbed it, and then he ended up having some friends that tried it. Or did I play it with Bubs first? I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, we gave it a shot, and that game is not going anywhere for a while.
I love that. Beans, if you know friend Beans, he messaged me for 4 days in a row.
It sounds like Beans.
because Beans and I are like not like I don't mean like a Discord message, like because Beans and I aren't like Beans and I know each other in the real life and the real world. We live near one another. Like I could go slap him right now if I wanted. In less than 30 minutes, I could be slapping him right in his fucking mouth. He would not quit Facebook messaging me. And he would just like be like, "Come on, baby." It was like he was trying to convince me to have sex with him.
I'll blow you if you.
You remember being like a horny teenager. It's like, oh come on, oh no, oh come on, girl, and that's what he did for 4 days.
No means yes, you know.
Yeah, it's like, oh come on, I won't tell nobody. Oh, no one will know. It's just for like I'm like, bro, what the fuck is this game? So he convinced me to buy it, and I hate to give him any kind of credit, but damn it,
it's so good. It's so good, and I don't even know how to describe that game. Like it's just so good, and then the mod support makes it even better. It's
very much an SCP. Like it's in that vein of like the SCP Foundation. You very much feel like I think it's I can't remember how their staffing goes. It's you're either like level 1 or level 4. It's one of those two, and those are usually like inmates.
Yeah,
who they don't give a shit if they die, and that's exactly what you're playing.
Yeah,
It's GTFO. If you've ever played GTFO, it's GTFO, but it has hope, whereas GTFO does not have hope.
Yeah.
Like, but it's fun, and the first time you encounter a monster is life-changing for you.
If there's one game I could play the first time every time, it would have to be Lethal Company.
It's such a good game.
It's good.
I don't know who's deving it. I don't know what they're doing.
I think it's
with
just
it.
one guy.
It very much feels like one guy.
Oh, it's a ex Roblox dev.
Oh man, I know so many people who mess around in Roblox.
I do it from time to time.
It's fascinating what that thing is, man. I was doing something in Fortnite the other day. I discovered because I don't Fortnite, but I discovered this weird hub thing where you could play these other types of games. And I called my kids in here to yell at them for not showing me these things sooner. And they're like, "Welcome to Roblox in 2013, you old fuck."
Yeah. Fortnite is just becoming the new Roblox.
I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Okay, that's what's."
And then she goes into her room and talks shit about you.
And she just shit talks me into the ground. Makes fun of me nonstop.
But yeah, like the first time I played Lethal Company, and we ran into the spider.
Oh god,
that was terrifying because you don't know to look up, and like you'll see spider webs, you think it's just part of the map. You don't expect anything, and then all of a sudden the spider just crawls off the ceiling at you, or the little girl like enemy.
Bro, there's one enemy that just breaks your neck.
Oh yeah, I can't remember, but the Shadow Man, basically.
Yeah.
That's my most viral video I've ever had.
Nice.
Had 1.8 million views.
Damn, son, you famous, kid.
Yeah, it was nuts. And it was literally, it was Bracken. It was, so Bracken. I was playing with Bubs and Happiness was who I played that game with first. And we just got to a locked door. And all of a sudden I just look behind me and Happiness's neck just snaps and she just gets dragged off. And then me and Bubs are just silent because it's our first game on. We're like, what's happening? I just ended it. I just went full on, just like, it's your problem now. And I jumped off.
Wrote a note on my chest.
Yeah,
I'm out.
And I cannot say enough good things about that game.
I played with Beans, Cheetah, and I think Lower the first time around, and we had vaguely worked out a system where one of us would stay in the ship and monitor.
Yeah.
The rest of us inside the building. But like Beans was the one monitoring us, and he should never be in charge of monitoring anything. But like your first time, yeah, you go in and you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. You're like, oh, I'll check this room, I'll check that room, I'll check this, and then you see just like some nightmare level thing, and everything in your body, like everything in my body, just kind of shut down briefly. And I'm like, okay, just get out.
Like the first time you see the coil head.
Oh my god, dude! The first time I came across the spider, I had like jumped across something, like jumped across a gap.
Okay.
And I was like walking around, and then I saw like a spider web, and I was like, oh, spider web. And I turned down a hallway, and I turned around to look behind me, and that spider just come like crossing.
Yeah, just stomping down.
I was just like, oh no, not like this. Oh, it's so good. Like I hope this game continues on. Also, yeah, with mod support, you can also play it in VR.
Oh yeah, I forgot they added VR. But yeah, like with mod support, that game will not die because look at Left 4 Dead 2 on Steam.
Right?
It's still got like probably almost 20,000 people playing it every day.
Because they nailed it.
Yeah,
they absolutely nailed it.
Mod support will help. That game will never die.
That game is almost perfect.
Because when they get bored, they make new shit for it.
Mm-hmm.
Mods let devs be lazy, and I think more mods should allow it.
See, that's what I want in the gaming community. I want more of us to like
be a community,
be adding to things. Mm-hmm. So you notice there's no meta for like Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
There's better weapon choices, but you don't necessarily have to take them. You know what I mean? You're like, no, I'm just gonna stick with my shotgun. I like my shotgun.
Yeah, everything's versatile.
Yeah, I want more of that in the gaming
Mm-hmm.
sphere because then that doesn't lead to min maxing; it leads to creation.
Yep. Like that's why I like hunt a lot, is because like there is meta, like you run long ammo. Long ammo's the meta, or shotguns, but you can still survive using like
Bro,
small ammo in a Springfield.
I'm about to say I will roll into hunt with whatever I like loaded up the last time I played
Yeah.
6 months ago, and just be like, "Bug it, let's see what happens." And
Yeah.
then we wipe the whole lobby.
Yeah. Like
It's just like, all right,
I for anyone that doesn't know, I popped a team with a Springfield, which is not a good weapon. It
no,
is a single shot rifle, and I popped a team that was running the best rifle at the time, which is the Avto, which is the only fully automatic gun in the game, and it
ugh.
shoots long ammo. Just insta headshot them, and it's just it's a throwaway gun. That's why you run it, is you pop someone and take their better gun.
Always fun to do.
It is
Always
always
good to
fun.
take somebody.
You
It
just
feels so good
flop
to
your
load out
giant
with
hunt
someone
dick
else's
out when
gun.
that happens.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Honorable mentions we didn't get to this episode.
Yeah.
My Friendly Neighbor, or
Oh,
My Friendly Neighborhood,
yeah.
dropped this year.
That's a good
Puppet horror
one.
game.
I think Bubs played that and enjoyed it. What's another one that we didn't?
I
A
watched Jay
Dredge.
play that this year. Dredge. Dredge also
Honorable
good.
mention on Dredge. A lot
Yeah.
of people enjoyed that one. Dead Island 2.
I was gonna say Dead Island too.
Honorable,
Yeah.
but did not live up to the hype of the first one.
I mean, man, again, Alan Wake 2 did it very well.
Yeah.
Dead Island 2 was not able to capture
No.
that same fervor and that same energy.
Bramble looked really good. It was like Little Nightmares type of game, but with Norse mythology. I
God, I
think is
love
what it
Little
was.
Nightmares. I love Little
Little
Nightmares so
Nightmares is
fucking
a great
much.
game. I haven't played the
Oh,
second
that
one though.
second. I played the second one. I cried like a little baby at the end. It's sad. It ends very sadly. And Liza P is listed, but it is not a horror game. It is a great game, and I cannot recommend it enough. But you know,
This one, real quick. This is probably has to go down as the worst. I'm gonna say horror inspired game because it was supposed to have a lot more horror elements, like The Last of Us. But it's The Day Before.
I fucking knew you were gonna say The Day Before.
That game, I think, lasted 4 days, and the dev pulled the plug.
I was so excited for that.
I was too,
bro. I was so excited.
I
for
knew
that
not
game.
to get my hopes up, but I was still like, I was hoping.
I'm an optimist, man. I was like, oh my god, please be good, because like the trailer for it looked so good.
Yeah.
The idea, and it's a great idea, and it's a great premise, and you could build and grow on that so much because like World War Z.
Oh yeah,
that game is fantastic. Played the absolute shit out of it. Have played it. I think I've played through that game's story probably 6 or 7 different times. Just from like I had it on Xbox, and then I had it on Epic, and then I bought it on Xbox. Then I bought it for like Xbox for PC. Then I bought it on fucking Steam. Like I own several versions of this game. It's same game, but I own like if you've got it, if you are selling that game, I'll probably buy it from you.
Yeah. I'll probably buy it. I already have it. I'll probably buy it.
I'll probably buy it again.
But yeah.
Listen, I enjoy it.
Yeah, Days Before. No. I am very disappointed, and I called it. So I was talking to one of my friends about it because she reposted the tweet of the dev saying like, we're pulling the plug. We lost money. I don't think they lost money, but
I don't think they lost money.
I was like, I bet you anything they bankrupt, and then they're going to be right back in a week with a different development team name. They were. I forget the name, but I'm sure we could look it up and we would find the trail. But
yeah,
someone on Twitter already posted how they denounced their dev name currently that made The Day Before, and they remade a new dev team, and they're already starting another game.
Oh my god, kill me.
Like that dev team has awful history, because another game that I didn't know that they made was Prop Hunt.
Okay, so they're just the kings of broken promises.
Yeah, they're the kings of broken promises, and that's what everyone was saying when they were like saying like it'll be out Christmas time. Everyone's like, do not get your hopes up. They're cons.
Yeah,
like they take money and they fucking run. They make empty promises.
Which shout out, that's the same thing that sadly the same thing that the Evil Dead people did as well.
Yeah, because they didn't even make the Switch port like they promised.
Grubby motherfuckers out here, man. You gotta be careful. Hey, for an ending, do you want to recommend a game to the listeners?
Yeah. What would be your 2023?
Oh, my game of the year, as far as like horror is concerned for 2023?
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hands down. I put the most hours into that one. If you like ASIM, if you like horror, if you like that level of it, play that. And you will play it with friends though.
Yes.
Much like
at
any
least
multiplayer
one
game anymore. Play it with some friends. Yeah, have at least one buddy by your side. It will make your life exponentially easier because at least you'll know what one idiot is doing versus not knowing what three idiots is doing. Because believe me, when you solo queue for a living, the idiots are just everywhere. And I would also recommend, and I haven't played this yet, but I really want to, Killer Frequency.
Okay. I'll have to look into it because I don't even know that one.
Look into that one. You are a radio DJ who acts as an impromptu dispatcher when a serial killer returns to terrorize the town's. It's a very.
I think
very
it's on my wish list actually.
It's a very very interesting like premise.
Okay.
And I'm excited for that. Also, I want to play what's the one? The Five Nights, the VR Help Wanted 2.
Oh, that one looks good. I forgot about that one, but I think that's technically a 2024 game, so
I think Five Nights in VR makes me sweat from my thighs, and I don't know what to do with that.
I think that I'm gonna give my game of the year to Lethal Company. While it is a survival horror game when you are alone, it is a comical survival game when you're with friends.
Oh yeah.
It's great. Yeah. Everything's perfect. And I will get, since we gave 2 multiplayers, I'm going to give a solo player game, and Giz, if you want to too. I'm going to give my solo play game to Resident Evil 4 Remake. I think that is probably, in my opinion, one of the best games that came out this year.
He is 100% correct. I would probably say single player thing, Grey Hill Incident.
Grey Hill, okay.
Yeah, like be ready to be terrified. I enjoy. I love to be scared. We go to haunted houses.
Yeah, you don't go to haunted houses sober either.
No. Okay, so we'll talk about that on the next one. Like, because I imagine we're running long because that's what we do here.
That's what happens. It is what it is.
Also, if you do listen to this and you do want to play these games, you're like, oh man, I got no friends. I assure you, there's someone in Boomer's community who wants to play this with you and make fun of you, and I assure you, there's probably someone in my community that would happily make fun of you.
We'll put the Discord links down below too in the description.
Yeah, no, if you see me online and you see me playing something, I am always more than happy to yell at how bad you are. Like, or just, you can see how bad I am and be like, why am I playing with this fucking guy?
Right.
It just happens. But yeah, no, there'll be links and everything else. And I don't know. I don't know how you end up. Boomer, how do you end a podcast?
Well, I think next episode, we will touch on the games to come in 2024. Because there's a lot of good ones coming.
Oh yeah.
And there's a lot. And it's a whole nother episode. I thought we could squeeze it in, but we are running past our hour, and that just means more editing for both of us because I'm gonna do the audio editing for the Spotify, and then Giz has got the YouTube, so that's what we're gonna do. We go tag team it, and yeah. So with that being said, thank you everyone so much for listening to our return to Nightmare Manor. We will be back a lot more regularly. I'm hoping at least once a week me and Giz can get together. If not once a week, every 2 weeks. Give us time to edit in between because we both got families and streams and stuff like that.
Yeah, fucking loser.
If you want to catch our live streams, we both stream over on Twitch. What's your stream name, Giz? I forget.
I am at Gizmo12, GZMO12. Is where you can find me everywhere on the internet, with the exception of Twitter. because I hadn't added the 12 yet to my name when I started my Twitter. So it is LOL Gizmo on Twitter.
There you go. And then I am boomer_hands4l on everything except YouTube, where YouTube is just boomer_hands. Sometimes I think I should add the 4L back on, but other times I don't. I'm too lazy. But
Oh, I feel you. You are seen invalid, sir.
But with that being said, we will see you on the next one, and we will put some info down. I forget how to end a podcast as well. It's been a hot minute. We'll get better at this as time goes on.
Joke's on him. I have no plans on getting better.
This is what you get.
All right,
With that
okay,
being
love you,
said,
bye.
yeah, we'll see you.